Eric Packer, naturopath. Thanks for coming back. Many people ask me, what are some of the best types of foods I can eat that act as an antibiotic? You know, something that actually helps to clean up the body, gets rid of unwanted bacteria. If there's parasites, inhibits the reproduction and growth of those. Something that works on culling yeasts that really sort of bloom or take off in the body. Well, the good news is there are many different types of foods or substances you can eat that actually have good, like anti-actions, okay? Anti-fungal, antibacterial, anti-parasitic. You don't need to always eat pharmaceutical drugs to get rid of something like we're led to believe, okay? So having a bacterial problem overgrowth doesn't mean that you lack antibiotics, that you need those, okay? Like some doctors would like you to believe. But eating these kind of foods we're going to talk about can have a big difference in shaping your gut, especially if you eat these on a daily basis like I do, okay? Eat these foods all the time and you won't need to go and get drugs, all right? Foods are drugs. Drugs are foods. That's what they should be, all right? Hippocrates, excuse me, said something like that to that effect, didn't he? A long time ago. Right. Well, of course, top of the tree is garlic. The food that many people still, comment on YouTube saying it's toxic, you shouldn't eat it, it's bad for your health, and are you stupid, don't you know garlic hurts you, and makes you wonder what planet some people live on. It really does. You only have to spend 10 minutes online and look at the research on garlic to see that even scientists are amazed at how good garlic really is, right? If we put it up against drugs like ketoconazole, fluconazole, this drug, or allicin, one of the active ingredients in garlic, beats a lot of these antifungal drugs hands down, right? We know the research on cardiovascular and cholesterol. There's tons of research now that validates the use of this in a circulatory sense, but also research now, University of Arizona in the 70s did studies on garlic and found that it matched or actually exceeded the potency of many pharmaceuticals that were used for similar kind of actions to antimicrobial, and it worked. So garlic, of course, when you heat it or cook it, you destroy some of the properties on it. So, excuse me, just get a small clove, cut it fine, mix it with a bit of lemon juice and a bit of olive oil, and just throw that on top of your food. It's a great way to have garlic into your diet. This is a par excellence antibiotic, all right? Works really, really well, it's powerful. So that's the top. Another, of course, food that belongs to that allium family or the garlic family are onions, also shown to be antibiotic, have a cleansing action in the body. Raw onions, like raw red onions, even better. You've got all the flavonoids in them, different types of phenols and flavonoids which help to really curb the growth of E. coli and foodborne pathogens. So people who tend to get foodborne diseases or get sick when they eat certain meals, it could be a chicken sandwich or whatever, these are the sort of foods you want to include in your diet: are garlic, onions, shallots, spring onions. Excellent. Try and get used to eating more and more of them raw, all right? Because it will make a big difference for your gut. There are also starches in these foods that really feed up the good bacteria of the bowel, boosting your immune system even more. Citrus, very good food, particularly citrus like grapefruit. Grapefruits are excellent. They really work to inhibit a lot of different types of parasites. And of course, grapefruit seed extract comes from grapefruit. But grapefruit's a great liver detoxifier and a liver immune booster. Grapefruit has many different actions on the body. There are flavonoids in it that have powerful effects on certain aspects of your immune system that can really boost it up. So try and get used to eating a little bit of citrus at least once or twice a week. We've got 30 citrus trees in the yard, so we tend to like citrus at our place. I've got lots of lemon trees, oranges, grapefruits, tangerines, tangelos, all those sort of things. They're just wonderful to grow. And if you don't eat them yourself, just hand them out to people. Honey. I didn't call you honey. Honey is the next food, right? So, being a beekeeper, you don't have to convince me on the merits of honey. Honey's amazing. It contains hydrogen peroxide, stops bacteria growing in it. It's good also for your gut because it stops bacteria growing in your gut. You can't compare honey like candy or ice cream. It's a completely different sugar. If you look at honey like Manuka honey, you've got this stuff in it called methyl glyoxal, I think it's called, and this really helps to heal wounds. So it's a wound healer. So some honeys are quite special like that. But you don't need to have excuse me, Manuka honey to get the benefits of honey. Any honey is going to be better for you than any kind of man-made sugar. So honey does have antibiotic effects and immune boosting effects. But we're not talking, you know, a cup a day of honey, like a, you know, tablespoons per day. We're talking small amounts. Cinnamon. Cinnamon's definitely been implicated also. Excuse me, dry throat. Cinnamon's also been implicated with many different types of infections. It works for bladder problems, or throat problems, or coughs or colds. It's been used as an antimicrobial in Sri Lanka and India for a long, long time. So it's part of Ayurvedic medicine. It's a wonderful plant to use for blood sugar correction. It works quite well for that. I quite like it in porridge. I quite like it with oats. It's really tasty. It goes well with baking, but you can put cinnamon in many dishes, but it's also antimicrobial. Don't forget that. Wine. Would you believe that wine is antibiotic because of the polyphenol content? So red wine is supremely good. Small amounts. We're not talking bottles a day. So again, for foodborne pathogens, for someone with Helicobacter pylori, stomach infection, if you get salmonella easily or those infections, wine will, a bit of wine here and there will help to stop that kind of process. So Klebsiella also responds positively. Klebsiella pneumoniae doesn't like the polyphenols in red wine. So tiny amounts of red wine in the diet actually quite good for you. And the next one is yogurt. Yogurt's been long known to have a great immune boosting potential. People who eat yogurt are proven through studies. You can go to Google and look at this. People who eat yogurt regularly tend to have a lesser incidence of colds or flus than people who don't eat yogurt at all. Water-soluble peptide extracts, WSPEs. So these actually come from dairy, and they stimulate really the production of different cytokines in the body, so chemicals that the immune system makes to attack bacteria, for example. So yogurt is actually quite an effective antimicrobial when you eat it regularly. But one of the big things it does, of course, because of its high lactic acid content, it stimulates lactobacillus in the gut, and lactobacillus create antibiotics. Acidophilin, for example, is an antibiotic created by these bacteria. So when you eat yogurt, you're going to get a better immune health. That's proven through studies now many times over. Turmeric, curcuma longa, or curcumin, found in turmeric. Very, very good again. Similar to ginger, same family, anti-inflammatory, reduces aspects of inflammation in the body, but boosts up immune function again. Turmeric's a good liver detoxification and blood purifier. It's been used for fevers, colds and flus, and sore throats, and earaches, and many different things. So turmeric is also certainly on this list of antimicrobial foods. It's one that you want to think about. I quite like it in tea. You can drink turmeric tea. It's interesting. Ginger, one of my favorite anti-inflammatories. I particularly like ginger when it comes to like bruises, bumps, painful knees or things like that. But ginger, I've been told, also works really as an antimicrobial. Works on parasites quite well too. So quite effective. And the last one is clove. Syzygium, I think they call it, or clove. So clove's excellent for parasites. It's been used a lot in India again for this reason, for bugs in the tummy or things like that. Clove, if you think about it, was used back in the plague days to stop really infection. So when people did wear those masks, they put clove in the mask to stop an infection. Could be another COVID angle, who knows? So clove's been long known and long used now for hundreds of years as an effective antimicrobial and to boost the immune system up and to fortify the body against colds or flus. So that's a list of what I would call my 10 top or my favorite antimicrobial foods. I'll just read them out to you again. Garlic, onions, or the alum family. Citrus, particularly grapefruit. But lemons also, again, vitamin C for the immune system. Honey, particularly the Manuka, but any honey is usually quite good to have, small amount. A really nice thing for winter time for you guys in the States is a glass of like filtered warm water, bit of honey in it, juice of a lemon in there, maybe a pinch of turmeric in there. It works quite well for flus and colds. Cinnamon's on the list, wine, red wine, yogurt, especially sour Greek homemade yogurt with culture and a good culture level, turmeric, ginger and clove. Thanks for tuning in.